What is up, everybody? How's it
Hey,
going?
hey.
What's up? I got
Hello.
happy to see everybody. I got Jonah Mathis here from his channel, which is Jonah Mathis. I think it does technology, right, Jonah?
That's right. How's it
Made
going?
technology. Does a lot of stuff with sound bars, and I think he's going to get into some TV stuff. I've been trying to get him into some TV stuff. Of course, we have Stop the FOMO as well, so it's nice to see you both.
Hey.
I do have Jolster 4K coming on, and also Keep It Classy was going to stop in when he gets a chance. So we'll have some people here today to answer questions. And what we wanted to do today is kind of talk about what things you guys are interested on about coming out with regards to the Prime Day live stream we're doing. And, now maybe things that you're ready to buy before Prime, because some things might be sold out. You never know. So we're going to talk about that kind of stuff. I'm just getting pulled up here, the live stream, so that I can see everybody and say what's up, because you know how this StreamYard thing goes. You can only see like some of the comments. It's called crazy. So real quick. All right, there we go. I got it going on. So what's up with you guys? What have you been working on lately, Mr. Stop the FOMO?
Well. This one, actually, today, we were talking earlier, and I was in the middle of finishing up my 3-part series on home theater. And we're talking about the full build out, not the sound bar, because the sound bar, people are pretty much, there's not much to do. You buy a sound bar, it either works or it doesn't, right? But with home theater, it is so navigating. It's a nightmare, because you have all these formats. You have Dolby Atmos, Oro 3D, DTSX. What are the differences? Why are you paying $3,000 or $2,500 for a Denon just to have Oro 3D? And same with Yamaha, right? Yamaha just released their 2 cool receivers, but there are 2,300 and 3,000 if you want Oro 3D. And so a lot of people don't understand Oro 3D. So in this video, it's kind of like a 3-part process where I go over, in the first video, all the formats. And then once you've decided, oh, these formats work for me, then part 2, we go over what equipment you should select to support those formats, how many speakers, where do you place them? And then in the last video, which is my favorite one, what movies actually are properly mixed in that format, because you have so many movies that says Dolby Atmos, and it's like, wait, this is like stereo. I mean, it's not even surround, right? And so it's pretty fun. And I have a special guest to walk us through it. This is all he does for a living. He's a home theater reseller and installer and so forth. So he'll be on to kind of explain the differences. So that's what I've been working on. And this Friday, we have a live stream with Value Electronics to go over all the top OLED TVs. They've calibrated everything now. So A90J, A80J, G1, C1. They'll have their opinions, what they think is the best, because really the prices are very similar. The question is, what are the image quality differences? So Robert Zone and, here we go, and John Riformato, he's their calibrator, will be on. And yeah, that's it, man.
Cool. How about you, Jonah? We're just before I get into it, just what's up, everybody that's on here. I saw Dave Whelan. I saw some of the people that are on here all the time. Keep It Classy. He'll be here in a bit. I know a lot of other people here. Patrick Noble, Sergio Gonzalez. What's up, guys? So we got a new guest, and this is Jonah Mathis. He's a friend of mine. He and I have been kind of doing our thing on YouTube and bouncing ideas off each other. Does a lot of cool things with sound bars and like helping people understand technology and digest it better, ARC and eARC and the different kinds of audio and things like that. So what you been up to lately, Jonah?
Yeah, so I just published the Samsung HWQ950A review.
Oh, that's right. I want to see that. I'm excited for that.
That was a 11.1.4 channel soundbar. Thing's absolutely insane. It's
really
for the price too. Like the Q950T was like the previous version. That was a 9.1.4 channel soundbar. And this one's not much different from it, but they dropped the price about $200 when they released it. And there's an additional 2 channels in the rear. So like the rear speakers have a front firing, upward firing, and then a side firing speaker.
Dang.
So
wow.
When you put it in, I brought it into my studio room, which is like a pretty small 10 by 11 room, and it just blew that place up. So I imagine like if you had the proper room for it, it's going to sound really, really good. But even in like a standard open living room, it was still really nice to listen to. It was a solid soundbar.
How much was that, Jonah?
So it was six. I think they put it out 1,600 starting
yeah.
out, and then I think Best Buy had like a $300 rebate, or like they give you a $300 gift card if you bought it from them, essentially making it 1,300. So some people got it for an absolute steal.
Wow.
It was a great price.
Yeah.
I mean,
Here's the
can't really
$1,000,000
beat it.
question. How is it if you were to take the Sonos Arc and soundbar and rears?
There you go.
I know you're going to probably do a video on this. I mean, but
need
you know,
to.
what do you think? I mean, is it comparable? Obviously it sounds like it probably has more Atmos sound than
It does.
the Arc, right?
So I'd say the Q950A sound quality with movies and TV is better than the Sonos Arc sub and two 1SLs.
That's cool.
And it's cheaper too. With music, not so much. Music doesn't sound I don't know, something with the mixing or how they're processing the audio, it's just not good. It's not comparable at all. Sonos just completely kills it when it comes to music.
Quick question on the Samsung. Is this their flagship model? And do they have a room calibration or room correction or anything like that?
So there's two different versions of the room connection. I had to actually talk to like the Samsung rep to really figure this out. So if you have one of the, I think it's the Samsung Neo QLED TVs, those have a feature called Q Symphony, is where you can sync the TV speakers and the soundbar speakers, but then it's a SpaceFit Sound Plus. So if you have that compatible TV, that's one calibration method where it uses TVs, speakers, microphones to calibrate the room better. And then if you don't have that, then there's just an auto EQ process, which is the same. It's the same thing they had with the previous Samsung Q950T. Not amazing, but it makes like a slight difference. Nothing comparable to like TruePlay though.
I'm excited because, you know, I've seen a bunch of these Samsung soundbars in person. And if I had to say like what's missing from the Sonos products and what I like about like the Samsungs is like there's the Sonos ones, you got to buy like the Play 5 or like the fives, and like you got to really to get a lot of like surround sound, you know what I mean? So I haven't been a huge, like I have the Sonos Arc and I just moved it in my bedroom because I want to get like I'm going to start building out a system in my living room, but it's solid. It's just, I hope that they get vertical. You think they're going to do like vertical speakers on that, Jonah?
That one of the next videos I'm working on is like things I'd love to see from Sonos, and that's like number one on the list. Like you need to make surround speakers with upward firing speakers in
They
it.
have to.
If they do that, I think it's going to push a lot of people to switch to Sonos, because a lot of people, they like the Atmos, and all the other sound bars have upward firing rear speakers, and Sonos is basically the only high-end one that doesn't.
You know, since Sonos is so focused on the audio quality, if they just added D-Rock on the next whatever release, maybe one up, I tell you, it will change the game, because adding D-Rock to Sonos, it's an extra. I think it's $250, but at worst, make it an option, right? You pay the license, and if not, then you save money because you're really just paying directly to D-Rock. But that would completely destroy all the other high-end soundbars that don't have a recognizable brand like D-Rock. Someone's gonna do it.
Another thing that I'd like to see them do too is have their amp work as like Atmos speakers, you know, because like a lot of people have in-ceiling speakers. So then people will just grab a sound bar because they're lazy and they're like, I don't want to do the whole like, you know, surround sound. So if they have a couple in-ceiling speakers and then you could connect it to their amp and use that as height channels, that would be dope too. I think that'd be awesome. Cool. Well, that's good to know. I don't see Jolster yet. I'm not sure what's up with him. He's coming back from something, so he'll be here when he's here. But I wanted to know in the comments too, let us know what you guys are interested in as far as technology in general. TVs, definitely ask questions. You know, we'll try to get through as many questions as we can. If you guys, you know, today's the day to get some of those soundbar questions answered, audio questions answered. Jonah's good at that kind of stuff. I know we had one question here from Adi asking about our thoughts on Caleb's video on TV price hikes. And it's interesting. What did you think about that, FOMO?
Okay, so a lot of things have changed, and this is the thing about the price hikes. On the one hand, Caleb isn't wrong. However, the current inventory, what's happening is this. So I'll give you guys updated, right? So what he's saying is about what's been happening for 8 months leading to, let's say, April. But all the suppliers have been experiencing the shortages. We're talking panel suppliers on the TV side. They were ramping up production over the last 2 months. We're talking crazy ramp up, right? Everyone's back to work. They're ramping up. And suddenly, people stopped buying TVs. So now you have a crunch. On the one hand, you have all these suppliers coming out, and it's literally put a stop to the price rises. So the prices are still relatively high, but they're starting to dip the other way now. So we've hit the inflection point. This may be a temporary price increase, meaning, for example, you guys all saw how Hisense and TCL actually went up in price, despite being the exact same TV. We're talking the H9G and the TCL. Both of them went up like $200, right? That's what Caleb's talking about. But what you're going to see by the end of the year is that a lot of the discounts will start catching up. And so probably by the holidays, maybe January, we should be back to where we were in normal pricing years. So this is a temporary bump. I say wait it out. Unlike the GPU nightmare, which could be 18 months before we get caught up, the TV is a temporary bump. So be patient. Prime Day is still great for 2020 models. That is still good, with the exception of TCL and Hisense, who are still producing 2020 models. So that's why it's 2021 prices. But everyone else with inventory that's sunk cost, it was produced in 2020, and they're just trying to get rid of it. They will go down in price. But Hisense and TCL are still producing 2020 models today. And so it reflects their new cost of production. So that's just something to think about. But yeah, Caleb's on point, but things are changing literally on a month-to-month basis. So in about 2 months, we'll see another update from all of us.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I think it's hopefully they just keep moving with the stock. But I thought it was a cool video. It was one of his shorter videos. I think it might have been one of his pre-vacation videos too. He looked a little paler. I don't know.
Right.
I was checking. I was wondering if he was tan because I know he went on vacation, but we'll see. I don't stay tan very long myself, so you never know. And let me see. I thought there was another question here. It looks like there is a very important question by Sean Brady. Does the more local dimming mean less blooming on QN90A? I'm torn between 55 and 65. And this is a question that a lot of people ask about a lot of TVs and basically all FALD TVs. They always ask me this question. What do you think, FOMO?
So it's within the same model, right? 55 to 65. It depends on the TV maker. Some makers have a huge jump from 55 to 65. And I'm going to use Hisense as an example. You're going from 100 and some dimming zones at the 55-inch to 360 dimming zones. That's like 3 times as many. Whereas on the QN90A, the jump isn't as big. I think you're going from 500 something to 800. Percentage-wise, it's pretty reasonable. And so the performance between 65 and 55 should still be consistent based on the density of the dimming zones. On the Hisense, I honestly cannot predict that the 55 would perform as well as the 65 because of, you're talking double the pixel density. So it really depends on the brand. So in this case, QN98, being very specific, I'm not going to say that it will have less blooming at the 65 because now at the 85, would it have less blooming? Because I think that one has even more dimming zones. We're talking over 1,000, right? I think the 65, the blooming control is already excellent for a QLED or LCD TV. The 55 should be very close. So if you need to get a 55, how about this? There is no other 55-inch TV out there that can control blooming like the QN90A. But if you could afford the 65, it's the larger size that will impress you, not so much the better darkroom control.
Yeah, and I actually just I think that these over the previous year ones are controlling it better and they look a lot better. I am interested to give this TV another shot, and see how it goes. Hey, Jonah, did you end up buying a TV? You were speaking about buying a new TV. Did you end up with a new one?
I did. I bought the LG
C10.
Yeah, the LG C10, the 65-inch.
I remember you sending me. What do you think of that, FOMO? I ended up talking with Jonah a bunch, and he ended up pulling the trigger on the C10. Do you think that was a good decision?
Jonah,
it was a what?
It's a great decision. Have you ever had an OLED before? I guess that's the question.
No,
have you had
OLED?
Oh, there you go.
First OLED.
Don't
Looks
go on the
amazing.
forums. You got a great TV. Don't,
It looks
don't talk to
amazing.
people that will tell you, oh man, did you see this and that? Just
No.
it is. I have the C10 as well, the 55-inch.
Okay.
Dude, it's so good.
It
Yeah.
looks fantastic. And
Did you turn off the lights and watch it in the dark?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
And that's
yeah,
it's in the
that's it.
room like right behind me. That's the studio room there. So it's in a nice small room. There I have a blackout curtain on the window and blowing away. I don't get to use it as much as I'd like to, but I'm happy with it overall.
It's a great monitor too. A lot of people have had great success using it as well. They're doing their video editing on it. They're like, man, I can't go back. I mean, the colors are just amazing.
That's funny. All right, here's a good question, Jonah. This is for you and I both, because and FOMO as well. I mean, he does this. We all do. What do you guys do with regards to the TVs and soundbars? Do you send them back or do you keep them? How many soundbars do you have, Jonah? And or what have you done with other ones that you've had? What have you done?
So back in November when I did like the big soundbar comparison video, I bought like 6 Dolby Atmos soundbars, all over $1,000. So I had 6 of these in my tiny little 2-bedroom apartment. It was fun, but one of them I returned because it was actually damaged, and that was the Vizio Elevate. So I took that one back, but I kept all the other ones, and eventually sold off 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I sold off 2 and I kept 3 of them.
And I need to start selling them. That's a good question because I'm going to be giving some of these away. I have a couple TVs I'm about to put in boxes for people that are going to be in the live stream on Monday. So on the Prime Day live stream, we're going to be doing all day. Like we had talked about, FOMO is going to be launching a video in the morning, and we're going to be hanging out on FOMO's channel. And then at around noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be coming over to my channel. We're going to be going the rest of the day. And guess it'll be evening for people on the East Coast, and trying to answer questions with various creators. We're going to have a lot of people on here. There's at least 10 different people that are going to be joining us throughout the time, 2 people at a time. People that are confirmed are like the Villa Man, Techno Dad will be there. Jonah will be there. My Gadget World. We'll have Tech with KG, Jolster, Stop the FOMO, of course. And we're still working on a few other people. I think Ratings might be on with us. And so we'll see who else is going to be on there. But we're going to have a lot of different people and go over a lot of different things. And I'm going to have a few requirements that you guys are on the chat when we give it away. If you're on the chat and you guys are subscribed to my newsletter, you guys are going to be entered into the contest to win some of the prizes that we have. I have some HDMI cords, some USB cords, some Echo Dot stuff, a couple TVs I can give away. So we'll have a big live stream, and we'll hopefully keep sending it out to everyone else and get as many people as we can on that live stream on Monday. So that's a good question. As far as Peter, I have taken some TVs back. I mean, I can't review every single TV. I had, initially when I started, I was in people's houses. And so I would try to review them while I was at people's houses and get footage. The problem was when COVID happened, then I was no longer able to go into, people's houses as often, and I didn't really want to. So then I just started concentrating on reviews. But a couple of things happened where like this TV had a crack in it and I took it back, and then it just kind of led me down a rabbit hole buying different TVs. I have a lot of TVs now. I have I think I have like 7 or 8 TVs. I just got the Samsung frame. So this is the first time I've actually bought a Samsung frame myself. Normally I'm at people's houses installing the frame, but I thought in order to give a really good review of the Samsung frame, which I think is not a bad TV, it's just it's not like an HDR machine,
Right.
And the price of it it's expensive. But when it comes to thinking of it as, basically what the Samsung frame is it's a TV, but it's also like a full computer / art, platform where you can put all kinds of art, and a lot of people buy it just for the art. So I understand why it's more expensive. It could be less expensive. Paying $1,500 for a 50-inch TV or 55-inch is kind of expensive. So that's OLED price, but it's still a decent TV. And I'm going to have a review on that on Saturday. So I just thought I'd go. But yeah, I mean, I still have some TVs. I am looking to get rid of some older ones, and maybe we'll get rid of a newer one. We'll see. So that should be fun on Prime Day. So let me see if there's any other comments in here. I see you guys are answering some. Did you see anybody answering any comments we need to reply to here? Let's see.
Yeah, there's
Got one right
there's a
here.
couple super chats. Yeah.
Jay Cena. Well, I mean, I'll reply to any of them, but if you guys want to super chat to get the attention, feel free to super chat. You know that we can get through those a little quicker. Hey guys, just made a decision on going with the LG G1 55-inch. Bought the feet and new TV stand. The Sonos Arc, good solo for a small room. That's a good question. First of all, if you have the G1 with the feet, I'm not sure how tall those feet are. If you can fit the Sonos Arc under it, because it's a pretty tall sound bar. It's like 4 inches tall. But well, why don't we let Jonah go with this? Because this is something right up his alley. What do you think about that TV being good for a small room by itself?
By itself for a small room? Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I guess it depends on how much you're going to be using it in that room. Personally, like if it's like a master bedroom or something where you're not really watching a ton of TV, maybe not. But if it's a room where you're actually going to watch a ton of TV, I think it could be worth it. LG G1 that has eARC on it as well.
Correct.
So,
yeah.
You won't have any issues as far as like things being limited to Dolby Digital Plus. You should get Dolby True HD if you're watching Blu-rays or something like that.
Yeah, and
as far as fitting underneath, though, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I was going to say the other thing about that is that 55-inch being 49 inches long is literally like the same size as that Sonos Arc. True. So, that's the only downside. I don't know if he's putting it on a stand, so I don't know if he's going to have room under it, but it's also going to be as big as his TV. Now, the other thing is, I know, Jonah, you're looking at it from a perspective of like it might be too much then is what you're saying. Like it could be too much.
It could
technically
be too much
for the price. But I think if people are asking about it, if they're asking about it, they probably have the cash. So
that's true.
I mean, I just put mine in my bedroom. Yeah, I just put mine in my bedroom. And then I was like, you know what? I actually have this sub. I better bring that in here because my sub was just sitting in the living room doing nothing. So I brought it in there, and I'm going to put the rear speakers in there too, just see how fun it is. But we watch like a lot of Netflix programs and stuff. And it's pretty awesome to watch it with a 65-inch A90J and then that soundbar. It's a pretty good combo. So my only consideration would be that size of the TV. And if it's too small for that, maybe they get what do you think about them getting the, what's the other one? The smaller one for $400?
Oh,
the
soundbar Beam.
The Beam. Yeah. What do you think about that?
The Beam's super impressive. I did a review on that a few weeks back. For the size of that thing, it's really impressive. Like, especially for a smaller room, I think it's probably more ideal. The Sonos Arc may be a little overkill, but also depends on how much audio you want. I know I really enjoyed the Sonos Beam. When I put it in, like, we have a very open living room, it was very impressive for like how much it actually filled the space with sound. And it wasn't bad either.
Gotcha.
It packs a punch.
That's cool. Well, I hope that answers the question, Jay. Here we go. He's following up with that. Helping with my decision. It's my first OLED, and I'm analyzing it way too much. So, Jay, did you actually buy the TV? Is it purchased now? I'm trying to make sure I'm not dissuading them. He said it's my first purchase, and I was analyzing too much. So maybe
I think he bit the bullet. He bit the bullet, and there's no FOMO now.
Yeah. So I think if he's got the TV, that's great. And I wonder if you got the feet because of how I was talking about putting it on the wall as a pain in the ass. I want to know about that because I don't want to dissuade people from doing that, if that's even the right word. But I don't know if you caught it, Jonah, but that wall mount is awful for the G1. Have you seen that thing ever or no?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you have to check my review out. You don't have to watch the whole thing, of course. But I did basically 2 videos in one. I put like one of those boxes in the wall, so I could try to put the Apple TV, and now I have the Samsung Frame One Connect box inside behind the TV. But it's funny, I had to take the cover off because the Samsung Frame One Connect box is so big, it barely fits in a 14-inch box, which is crazy. Like there's a little cover holder on the side that you snap in place. I had to take that cover off to get the box inside, and then I had to flip it upside down because the One Connect wire wouldn't fit. So it took a lot to get it in there, which it just really, that Samsung One Connect box is too large, But anyways, I am not a big fan of that G1 mount, so I am recommending to people if they want to put it on a stand, the G1 TV is great. Okay, so he says no room on the wall, so he just put it on the stand. So, all right, cool. So yeah, no more FOMO. He's good to go. Got that. I think the Sonos Arc would be great with that. I'm just wondering if make sure it can fit underneath. Make sure you got 4 inches of clearance, or if you're going to put it on another level down below or something, you could be good. But I guess you can't put it on another level though, because it has the Atmos sound going up. So you kind of have to have some space for the Sonos Arc to do that, to get it
A little
in there.
bit, yeah.
Cool. Well, that's awesome. Oh wait, yeah. Let me know if you guys see either of the other two dudes. I see Classy must be texting while he's driving home right now.
Come on, Classy, be safe.
Be safe, Classy.
Or voice to text, and then you end up sending something.
Maybe that's what he's doing.
Right? Autocorrect.
Let's see. Christopher Taylor has a good question. Maybe this is another good one.
This is a great one
for everybody. Why don't you start out, Jonah? What do you think in general about this specific example, and then in general about like how you feel about like the dedicated receivers, sound bars, and like the size of rooms and all that kind of stuff?
So I guess it really all depends how much work you want to put into it. And that's kind of how I try to put it. Like sound bars are meant to be super simple to set up and use. It shouldn't take you more than about 30 to 45 minutes to fully set up an entire soundbar system. You'll spend 30 to 45 minutes just looking at receivers alone to try and figure out what you want. As far as like, yeah, it really just depends on your room layout, the size of your room, how much time you want to invest into it, how much you want to spend. Like you could go get a secondhand receiver and secondhand speakers and get it pretty comparable to what the Vizio Elevate might cost, but you're also investing all of that time into doing all that. So if you don't want to do that, then go with the Vizio Elevate because it's a lot simpler. As far as the Elevate as a soundbar itself, very impressive like front sound stage. The rotating speakers is a really cool like gimmick when you look at it, because once it detects a Dolby Atmos signal, those like front speakers rotate upwards, and
Dolby that's Atmos cool. I didn't even know it does that.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool sound. I've never seen that like anywhere else, like a motorized rotating speaker. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, the front soundstage sounds great. The bass is pretty heavy as well. I'd compare that to like the JBL Bar 9.1, really heavy down-firing subwoofer. And then the rears are super weak though. The rears are wired to the subwoofer, but they're so small that there's not a ton of good audio coming out of them. I got nothing really good to say about them, so I'm not gonna say anything.
What do you think? I mean, are you a home theater? You said kind of like your answer there, but are you looking to build a home theater in your spot now?
Eventually, yeah. I think one of my next projects is going to be like building a home theater that compares to the Sonos Arc system. Like if I'm going to go out and buy all brand new equipment and build a system, how close can I get it to the Sonos Arc in terms of price and quality? And then I'm going to break down my decisions behind all that. You can definitely build a better dedicated system, or like with a receiver, dedicated speakers, all of that. No doubt about it, you can build a better system. But it's also like how much time are you investing into that? And
exactly.
And I'm not saying people are lazy. I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to do it, no offense, but I enjoy the sound bars. It's a lot easier. But
yeah, what do you think, FOMO?
So I was thinking about this right when they put dedicated receiver, and I think a lot of people, the biggest fear for them is this envisioning 5 speakers or 7, and then, oh, God forbid, overhead, right? What they forget is this. Unlike any soundbar, you cannot just add any subwoofer. You have to get a quote-unquote matching subwoofer, right? With a receiver, you can get an SVS subwoofer for sale, $600. And it will be better than, I'd say, probably any soundbar subwoofer. So like you said, get a used receiver, 4 years old. It will have a sub out. No, it doesn't have Atmos, but as we know, it doesn't really matter. If it's just Dolby surround, 2 speakers with a sub, I think that might end up being pretty impressive. And then you can always add more speakers later and go that way. Obviously, if I want immersion from day one. Okay, but there is a limit to how you could grow that system. So I'm going to take the devil's advocate side. I would go with the dedicated receiver and allow myself to grow into it. So let's say you don't go used, right? Just go whatever dedicated receiver. $1,000 is the budget. Is the Vizio Elevate about $1,000, right?
Yeah.
So I'd go with one of the refurbished receivers off of a Denon approved, I think, accessories for less or whatever, right? And I think they're sold out, so maybe that's not a good idea. But $500 or $600 used or whatever, and then get 2 basic speakers, and then add a sub when you're ready, and you keep on building it out. And eventually, you'll have everything else, and you could upgrade your receiver one last time, maybe 5 years later, right? But you're right though. It is time consuming. It takes education. I love sound bars because it is plug and play. So you got to choose your poison, right? Experience or laziness.
Yeah. And that's the same. That's the same with me. Like I currently am renting the house that I'm in. So then it's like, well, how much do I want to put into that? Now I can do it and make, do videos and do all kinds of stuff, which I'm doing all over the place. But how much damage do I want to do and then have to undo? Because I can do drywall repair and all that. But it's just a matter for me of ease. It's just like ease of like throwing a soundbar up, simple. My kids, like right now we have the TV out there that same. Looks like we all have the C10. All of us have that 65-inch C10. And we don't even have a soundbar on it at all. And I don't even know if they notice the difference, to be honest. So it's kind of funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 1 second, we want to take 1 second, everyone that's listening. Today's a special day. And so we got to embarrass our guests. It's actually Stop the FOMO's birthday.
Uh-oh.
So I didn't know that I didn't know it was his birthday today. I'm not going to sing. We're not singing to you. Don't worry. But I just wanted to say happy birthday, FOMO. And thanks for jumping on with us today, man.
Thank you.
So make sure everybody that I'm sure most people are subscribed to FOMO, but if you're not, subscribe and say happy birthday to our man FOMO here. And I just thought I'd do that real quick.
Yeah. I'm turning 21 again.
Yeah.
So
21.
Good times.
Oh, wait. Yeah. I'm turning 21 again, as in like I'm double that age. So that's not good.
Hey, that's good, man. I like that. I'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. My wife keeps saying it's her 25th birthday, and my son's like, "This is like your 25th birthday?"
I know, right?
And
He starts to take math. He's like, "Wait, mom."
Yeah, he's pretty smart.
Making sense, right?
he knows exactly how many 25th birthdays she's had already, so it's pretty funny. And he keeps giving her a grief about it. So happy birthday, FOMO. We will we don't have to keep embarrass you on that. But and I put a little the very quick intro just talking about our guests. I'm not sure if Jolster's making it. I know that he was trying to come in hot from something else. I haven't heard word from him, but I think Classy's on his way. But definitely ask us any questions. We got to get your guys' questions in. I have a question for the crowd. I am thinking about doing a couple reviews on things outside of TVs. Now, I already am going to do reviews on some of the mesh Wi-Fi systems. I'll probably get an Apple TV 4K, some things like that, and then do like a Shield versus Apple TV and all that kind of thing. But what other things do people want us to review? I have like new XM4 Sony headphones coming in. I do a lot of smart watches, but I haven't ever done a review. Does that kind of stuff interest people? I'm sure it does, but let me know in the chat as well, because I am interested in that. And then we kind of already went over who will be here on Prime Day. We talked about some of the guests, but I will get a schedule out and I'll post it on my community page, who's going to be on and when, and then figure out what, then you can figure out when you're going to come on and ask your questions. But we'll be doing it all day, so it'll be pretty cool. So definitely hit us up. I do have a couple questions here. Go back to CS. CS is asking, I have the Q6FN. Should I get an OLED or a U8G, FOMO? What do you think about that?
Well, and this is kind of our mature response now. If you watch a lot of SDR with a Q6FN, and I normally don't, so I'm learning what you guys always tell me, then the OLED may not be bright enough if you're used to bright sports SDR on the Q6FN. But if you watch mainly streaming content, Dolby Vision, lots of great HDR content, the OLED will be a huge upgrade over the Q6FN. And the U8G would be great for SDR. So it really depends on your use case. And gaming, obviously, LG C10 or C1.
Hey, Jonah, what do you think now that you have had an OLED? What did you have before? You had like a Vizio or something, or what did you have?
Oh man, we had like it was a Sam's or a Costco like bottom of the line Vizio 50-inch TV. So it was probably
That's
like
hilarious.
$320, man. It's now that I have the CX in my studio, I'd sit in the living room and I'm just looking at the TV like, this looks terrible. I can't see anything. It's too small. So we'll be making an upgrade here soon. It's
nice. I was going to say, are you going to be able to go back to like an LED based TV, or if it's good enough, or do you think you'll be an OLED guy going forward?
I think if it's good enough, we have a lot of natural light in the living room, so I'm gonna have to do something about, like, if we actually watch movies, there's a ton of light that gets into that room, but the OLED just looks so much better.
Yeah, you might be a candidate for that Samsung QN90A, or I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in maybe the X95J TV, or that Hisense TV is very good too, the U8G. So a lot of different options that have a little bit more brightness and a little better anti-reflective coating, because sometimes OLEDs don't work if it's very bright. Now the A90J TV that I have, man, I used to have this problem. Someone had a comment up there that was the A8H or the A80J from Sony, FOMO, like last year's I guess best OLED, because they didn't have a Master Series or whatever. Basically the same thing.
Right.
But I had the 8H in my bedroom, and every morning if I would turn on the TV when I was waking up just to check out like news or sports or whatever, there's this bad reflection in it, And now I have the A90J. It has the same bad reflection, but when I turn it on, it the brightness difference, it seems to cut through that a lot better. And so, that's only an OLED too. So if you get something like a QN98 from Samsung, which again, I had some uniformity issues, that just crushes those reflections. So Jonah, that's, I don't know if you're a Samsung guy. Obviously you have the sound bars that it may pair nicely with that, to be honest. But those QN90A is a pretty solid TV for the most part for those kind of things. Yeah, he's like taking notes.
Yep. Otherwise, I'm gonna forget.
Yeah, that's all right, man. We'll just text me, be like, "What TV was that you recommended?"
Yeah.
We got a couple. Thanks for doing the live stream, Adam. I appreciate it. And by the way, thank you for the super chats, guys. I appreciate it. If I don't say that, thank you, CS. Whoever else, Cyborg GT. Oh, you know what, Cyborg GT? I'm sorry, I missed yours. Let me hit that one back. Let me go back to that one real quick. So if you choose, okay, this might be for both of you guys. Because FOMO, you've talked about this before, and I don't know if Jonah has any experience on this, but we're talking about the Panasonic JZ2000, which is supposed to have a really good sound system, right? It has its own sound bar below it, sort of.
It has a whole Bowers system, I think, on it, and the Flat Panels HD review, I believe, was like raving about this is. Don't get us. If you're gonna upgrade, then get a real system. Otherwise, your sound bar, I guess, unless it's the Samsung multi-speaker array, right? But if it's just a basic sound bar, this is as good. It's you really have to upgrade to a really good sound bar to beat the JZ2000 right now. So I think I'd say stick with the TV and then get a receiver if you're gonna upgrade.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I missed a couple. I missed Mike's too. Let me go back to Mike's. But yeah, Jonah, have you? So there's also the Sony A90J that has good speakers too, and that I'd have to say the Sony A90J by itself, it has acoustic panel where it vibrates, Jonah. Then the sound comes out of the screen, and that is also a very good sound system. So I would imagine this Panasonic is even better for sound. And FOMO, I think that the TV itself is better too. That's what you've heard, right? The early info is that the Panasonic may be better than the A90J, so pretty close, but a little better.
The crazy thing is the Panasonic JZ2000 isn't technically better than last year's HZ2000. It's because it has more gaming features. So personally, I just give the HZ2000 because you're paying so much more for an incremental upgrade. Now, not having seen both, I'm relying on the reviews. But what is interesting is both the JZ2000 and the HZ2000 are better than the A90J from those who've reviewed both. So the Europeans got a great selection, man. I'm wishing I have access to the Panasonic JZ1500, which is the one step down, same great panel, just without the amazing audio.
That's awesome. Did you have anything to add, John? I wasn't sure if I was cutting you off.
I'd never even heard of this thing until now, so I'm gonna have to
check it out.
Look at this a little bit.
My Gadget World.
But it's not available in the USA, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, they don't have it in the US. That's the only problem. Panasonic, they don't want to sell it to us. My Gadget World, wall-mounted the G1 and wall-mounted a Sonos Arc. Wires concealed, or he's going to do it. It will look killer, set up and clean. Okay, I'm not sure if he did it or not. Sounds like he might be working on it. So yeah, I mean, that is a awesome look. I think he got a 65-inch G1, which I think he does. I think that's what it is. And a 65-inch TV and a Sonos Arc is a perfect combination, or even a 77-inch TV, because it's all very clean. Now, a couple of things to think about, Mike, is that you aren't technically supposed to put the power cord in the wall. So that's one thing. And I'm actually thinking about doing a video. Maybe people can help me on this. Thinking about doing a video by buying the Legrand like power bridge, Jonah, where I take the power bridge. It also has the one where it has the soundbar power bridge now, where it has a little power outlet slot, and it has a little like a 1-inch circle.
Very
so you can get behind the soundbar, you can pop the power cord in, and you can sneak the wire in for the HDMI. So it's like got 3 pieces. It has a power and a HDMI port spot for the TV, the same for the sound bar, and then it has an output, and then it plugs into the thing and plugs into the power, so you don't even have to mess with your electrical either. So I think probably it would be a pretty popular video because a lot of people are a little scared to like mess with their own electrical. So this might be a good solution. So Mike, check that out if you want, or if you're a homeowner, you can take that risk of putting your power cords in the wall, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's not the best idea in the world.
Is that from Sanus or is that Lagrange?
Legrand. I mean, I don't know. Is it Legrand?
Legrand?
Yeah, Legrand. I know that they have one. I'm sure there's other people that have them. PowerBridge itself might have one, the company, but I noticed, Mike, you have to send me a picture of that when you're finished with your setup there, guy. That would look pretty cool. And My Gadget World will be on with us on Monday. So right now he must be killing time at work, or maybe he's just finishing up work. But yeah, he's going to join us on Monday. So it should be pretty cool. So now I got through those two, and I can get back to the comment that I was working on here, which was down below. There we go. Back to Adam. So sorry about missing those. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the live stream. Do I go with the X900H at $2,600 or the X91J for $29.99? I can't tell what the difference is besides Android and Google TV. Now, we talked about this, but
yes, we
FOMO,
did.
Go ahead.
It's the same TV, man.
Yeah, like I think
it's the 85-inch, and the X9 and the X900H 85-inch. Is it at 2,000 now?
Yeah, I think wasn't
Costco?
that? I'm not sure. So I believe at Costco we were someone had talking about it was like down even further.
Yeah, Corey, he just bought it for like 1,900.
I'll check right now. I got that special login where I can see the prices.
Yeah. So Adam, definitely understand.
Go ahead for a second. I lost audio, so I got to put my other earpiece in. If you guys,
the X900H 85-inch and the X91J 85-inch are literally identical TVs. Robert at Value Electronics confirmed it. Yeah, it's kind of uncool that Sony just relabeled the same TV, but they just didn't release the XR chip version of the 85-inch. So if you want the XR chip, that's the amazing new image processor that everyone's raving about. You'd have to drop down a size. You cannot get it in the 85-inch from the X900H. Now, if you go to the X95J at the 85-inch, now we're talking. But then that's significantly more expensive. So yeah, there is no difference. Don't worry about it.
All right, I got sound back.
All right, just in time. I just finished.
Oh, did you?
I was just telling it's the same TV.
The one thing though, I was wondering that it looked like the X91J might be a little bit thinner. I don't know. Is it literally the same TV? Because I was walking behind them, and the X91J looked like it might be built like this year, like a newer TV, but has like the older processor. Or were you just saying literally it's the same TV?
Everything is the same, but you're right. It could be a different casing. That we don't know.
It's not that important. No one really cares. But
all the features, the processors, everything. As far as Robert looking at the specs and we were going over, he says this is the same TV.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
those guys know what they're talking about, and being in the TV game for as long as they are, they know the feel of the TVs. Kind of like how I get my hands on a lot of TVs. I notice some weird things about TVs that are different, or I like see the different glossiness of the screen and all that. So yeah. All right, wait, what? This isn't interesting. Hold on. This is a weird comment. Can you see this? The latest Sony X900H software update includes acoustic calibration, but it sounds worse to me. Tips. Happy birthday, FOMO.
So I was talking to Corey about that. So our A90J has the acoustic calibration now as well. I was playing with it. And so here's the thing about any kind of calibration. you need to know what they're calibrating it to. What is the curve, the target curve? What are they trying to do to my sound? Are they trying to raise the vocals? I don't know what they're trying to do. And if I don't know what the target curve is, then you're right, Corey, it could sound messed up. So if your room has certain dips and spikes in its frequency curve and the calibration just makes it worse, then that's not a good thing. Now, it's supposed to make it better. And they're using your remote control as a microphone, right? You're supposed to hold it, whatever, close to you. And I wish I could have access to their target curve. Then we'd know more. So we'll find out eventually. Yeah, turn it off. It sounds bad. So I could say I didn't see a huge difference.
Here, go ahead. Yep. I guess our guy from Waltz TV is calling me right now, FOMO. I wonder if he's got the TVs in.
Hey, you want to go and talk to him? I'll
that's okay. That's cool. We can hit him up later. It's not that important. Jonah, we're trying to get our 83-inch OLEDs. So can you imagine that? 83-inch A90Js, guys. I just missed the call. See, dedication.
Dedication, man.
I ghosted his phone call so I can keep on the stream here. There we go. All right, I got to figure out where we were here. We were just on Corey. Anyways, thanks, Corey, for the chat. It's cool. When Corey said that, I was thinking like, wait, they stuck those speakers in there. The vibration speakers is what I thought. I was like not thinking right there. So here we go. CS back. No sports, just streaming and gaming. So C1 or C10? So I don't know. Go ahead.
Well,
what do you say?
Which one would you say?
I mean, at this point, it's just like I think what is the C1 is for a 65-inch is still like $2,100 or $2,200, and I think the C10 is like $1,850. So I mean, if you don't have them next to each other, you're really not going to notice the difference. I probably would still just save the money until the C10 is gone. You know, I mean, I think just until it's gone, I would just save the money, get the C10. If you're gaming or I don't know, if you're upscaling a lot, but for streaming, I would just, he is gaming. Okay. So it doesn't have the game optimizer, but I would say still either one of those TVs is great and better than 99% of the other TVs out there. So I think pretty tough. What do you think?
And just like you said, right when he said gaming, my first thought is Dolby Vision gaming. We know that it's going to work on the C1. C10, it's up in the air. So if Dolby Vision gaming on the Xbox Series X is important to you, go for the C1. Now, C10 might get it. So it's kind of like a gamble at your end, but the C1 looks like it's got it figured out already.
Cool. We got someone jumping into the stream right now. We got Jolster 4K.
Jolster. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, man.
What's
I
up?
made it.
I see you got a haircut.
Oh yeah, I got
Slick.
the rock haircut.
Jolster, this is Jonah Mathis. Jonah Mathis does a lot of soundbar. I don't know if you guys have chatted before, but Jolster does a lot of TV and he does a lot of gaming stuff. So he's like the gaming expert, messing around with TVs. And I think Jolster brings a very practical understanding of things. I think I like the way that Jolster can just look at it from the buyer perspective, but from a different buyer perspective. We all are buyers of things, so we all have different perspectives. So I like how both of you do that. And I think Jonah's channel is really, really good at like helping make technology digestible for the everyman. That's kind of what I try to do as well. So cool to have everybody on. And I think Keep It Classy should be coming on in a second. Again, we're just trying to have some people on here to answer you guys' questions. So make sure you get questions in. So what's going on with you, Jolster? What you been working on? What you got a video coming out soon, or what would you?
Yes,
what just came out?
I got a couple of videos coming out soon. One, it's gonna be for a budget-friendly soundbar. I got another portable, budget-friendly projector that is coming out pretty soon too. Also, I'm working on a projector from LG, the AGU810P, which is a 4K laser projector, but it's not ultra short throw, so it's a regular short throw, which colors are amazingly insane, and it has a HDMI 2.1 port as well. So pretty interesting projector. Hopefully you guys subscribe to the channel if you want to know more about those things. But yeah, basically in the channel I review TVs or focus on TVs, projectors, monitors, and sound bars as well.
Cool, man. I was actually just linking your thing right there, so you guys can subscribe to Jolster. I just put it in the chat. There you go. make sure you go ahead and Joster's going to be on with us on Monday. We're still trying to figure out the time that works for everybody.
Yeah.
Joster's a Cali guy like us, so we can do it. We have like the Cali time. We're the Cali. We can always do whenever. Like we're open, you know.
Yeah,
We're going to try to get some of these East Coast guys like Jonah a little earlier because I don't want to make him go to bed late, you know.
Hey, man.
What state are you in, Jonah?
I'm in Georgia.
Oh,
Yeah, the
I
big
was in
South.
Atlanta for 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you outside of Hotlanta there? Is that where you are, or where are you at? Around
I'm in like northeast Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah, about an hour from Atlanta. Atlanta's too busy down there.
It is.
Oh yeah, it's definitely busy, man.
much
That's
going
crazy.
Dude,
Lot
traffic
going-
there is as bad as Southern California. That's
It's
the
the
thing.
worst, man.
Right?
I stay
The
away from there as
75,
much
the
as
85,
possible.
it doesn't matter what freeway you're on. You can't get in or out. And they
Oh, yeah.
purposely don't let buses or trains get out of Atlanta.
Wow.
Man,
That would save
that's
so
why I
much
moved to the
traffic
country.
if they had mass
Nice.
transit.
Joster, were you going to say something?
Yeah, actually, I'm working on I'm producing a music video. It's
yeah?
it's really weird, but
Oh, Techno Dad's gonna love this, man.
that is going to be crazy, man. I'm producing a music video, so I'm also, I've been doing a lot of traveling, different scene, different places. I've been going to Belmont Park, if you're familiar with it.
I just was there yesterday, man. I was there yesterday. You got to hit me up when you go.
Yeah, do it on the weekends. It's crazy packed.
Yeah.
that
Yesterday
place.
was dead as a doorknob. We went after school and there was nobody there, so we ride the roller coaster a bunch
Oh,
of times.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, we've been going to recording at the Sandbar. I don't know if you've been there.
Yeah.
It's really awesome. I'm really excited. I already have some of the music video almost finished, but I still need to get some more shots of that. So I'm just pretty much, doing the video side, the video editing and the filming and everything. So let's see how that turns out. Who knows? Maybe in the future I'll do some work for someone famous. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Justin Bieber or something.
There you go.
Crazy.
I'm gonna have like Daddy Yankee call you and you guys can
Daddy
collab.
Yankee. ¿Qué pasa, amigo? ¿Cómo está pasando?
Yeah, dude, I love. Listen, I can speak some Spanish. I'm not fluent, but I can speak some. I could understand a lot of people, and but I love Latino music, man, and I'm glad that they put more Latino music on the airwaves. I don't even know the words, and I'm just trying to sing to it.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's pretty funny. We got some questions. I'm going to try to catch up a little bit.
Oh yeah, lots of questions.
Yeah, so we got Jason Hall. We got this is one that could be pretty easy for me, but talking about getting a 2-year-old 2019 Master Series A9G or getting the A80J, both at 3,500. What would you prefer in a semi-bright room, watching mainly sports and Netflix and whatnot? Is there anybody here that would take a 2-year-old TV over a newer, brighter version? Or would you rather just have the newer, brighter version?
Well, remember, he's looking at the word Master Series.
Yeah.
And it's expensive. It's not cheap.
Yeah. But I mean, I think, at $7,000 when it came out, I don't think it has a single benefit over the A80J. I mean, I know that they originally said that they were calibrated out of the box, but when Ninjition AV came over and calibrated my A80J, it was as accurate as my A90J already was. They were both extremely accurate. So I don't think it really matters. I mean, the A80Js, unless the quality of yours is not good, I would just take the newer TV for sure.
Yep.
So I'm sure that's a pretty easy one we can get down. But Jason, thank you for that. I would just go for the new one, man, for sure. And Buddy Love, I appreciate it, man. Did he have a comment in there? Buddy Love's a big supporter. There we go. Yeah, right there. How can I import a Panasonic to the U.S.? Happy birthday, FOMO. Joester, it's FOMO's birthday too, so we're just messing with him.
Oh, happy
Yep.
birthday,
I just turned 21 again.
21.
Oh man, welcome to the club, man. Welcome to the club. Feels nice.
Doesn't it?
It's always nice. Forever 21.
Let me address this import Panasonic to the U.S.
Okay.
Buddy, no one has worked harder on this than Robert at Value Electronics. He'll be on live stream on Friday, and I will definitely ask him about that. But you give him a call. He will definitely talk you through what he's been trying to do to get it to the U.S. And technically, you could actually buy the Hollywood version of this, which is more like a monitor. It's the same TV as they get in Europe, but you got to have an external source, right? It's not a real TV per se, but it's very expensive going through that route. It's better to talk to Robert at Value Electronics and see what he can do to set that up. But yeah, you don't want to do it yourself.
Yeah, I was going to ask you because give me like the short answer if you can, because
Yeah. Well, the
if
reason
we were
is,
to buy it, I could buy it in England or something, or I could
yes,
buy it
you
in
could.
Europe, right?
Yes, you
And
could.
then I'd have to go through the whole customs process of bringing it individually, or no? Or is it
it's
just
kind of
not
like
happening?
it's kind of like what Vincent To does, right? He's like, I got to ship this from the USA because I don't get the high sense, the TCL, whatever it is we have, right? And or the Vizio. And so you could do the same thing in Europe the other way. Whatever happens in customs, it's a crapshoot. It may get stuck, it may not. Who knows? So you could always, but if it's certain retailers will not send it to the USA though. So you're gonna have to find the right retailer to do that. That's part of the issue.
It's not easy to, and most things that are coming imported are big things in big containers. So getting a TV, just an individual TV, man, I'm sure that could be a nightmare.
Now,
but
if Canada had it, that'd probably be the best way is just buying Canada drive. But Canada doesn't have the Panasonic either, right? So
well, I saw Chana in here. Chana, I say his name wrong all the time. He's a good guy though. He doesn't mind. And I saw Ninjishin AV in here too. Ninjishin said, "Happy birthday." He said, "I hope you have a good meal." That's good. Get a good meal in you. Both of them are going to be on the live stream Monday as well. But Chana's, I'm going to be bringing him. I'm going to be driving him up a 83-inch TV. So that'll be an experience too. Driving an 83-inch TV up in the back of my truck, with or without my family. I'm not sure if I'm taking them with me or not, but. Are we going to take them up and go to Yosemite and have a weekend, or should I just go up on myself and take the TV and hang out and install his TVs for him? So that should be an experience. So we'll have to check out for later in the summer when we get those videos of me driving an 83-inch C1 up and installing it for Chana. That'd be
so
awesome.
He bought it over here in San Diego, or you're?
Well, no, we're getting them through. We're getting them through. We're getting them through someone that I know, and we're going to try to have them shipped here. And I'm going to actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the C1 here first, and I'm going to do a review of the 83-inch A90J versus the 83-inch C1. And I might have to do it in my backyard. I'm not sure if I have enough room.
Dude, that's massive.
Can you imagine? I might have to mount it on like this stone wall in the backyard.
That's probably so heavy, dude. So heavy.
Then I'm going to take it up to him. So we've devised a plan where I could get access to it, make sure it's good quality, check it out, review it, and then box it up and then take it up to him and then install it for him. And then it's kind of a win-win for everybody, So anyways, be a pretty funny
over here, I have an 80-inch ALR screen for projector. And
is that me or am I losing people?
No, we're here.
We're good.
We're here.
You here? B?
I think we lost B.
He's we lost B. Oh man, it always happens. Oh, there it is. We're losing him.
He got hit by the lag. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to reset his lag.
Technical difficulties.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. What were you saying, Joseph?
So I have an 83-inch, not 80-inch ALR screen. Right here. I just have it because I don't really need it. But it's just so big. So I can only imagine an OLED and how heavy that is going to be.
Oh, it's 100 pounds. I checked. Man. Yeah, because I have to make sure I get the right wall mounts because I've been going over different wall mounts with B, right? Because, when I get it, I'm going to ask him to come up. Hey, man, you're going to have to help me install this, man. This is insane, right?
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, but it's about 100 pounds. And so, and most wall mounts can handle 100 pounds. You just have to get the one from Sanus. I completely trust Sanus's ratings. Wow. Yeah. They do a great job of rating their mounts accurately.
And how much is the wall mount for that TV?
I normally pay between $250 and $450 depending on how heavy duty you want it. So the more it articulates, the more expensive it is. Yeah. So if I get the maximum articulation, left, right, forward, and the one that I have is 400, but you could pull it out almost 20 inches. So that's far for an arm, right?
I'll be so scared of pulling out a.
I know, right? I'll just pull out the studs, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I'll be doing.
But that's the price difference: is how far can you pull it out? The farther it comes out, the more expensive it is.
We got a new
Classy, hey man,
Classy.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Going good. Just got off my route and on break.
Oh, I guess I had my microphone on. I had it on mute, huh?
I love the woodsy walls, Classy. Mm-hmm. It feels like we're in a log cabin.
Yeah.
It's weird.
looks
It's
more-
just this one wall in the hallway.
Yeah.
I love it.
But,
That looks
uh,
more Wisconsin than Cleveland, in my opinion.
Right, right.
That's where I'm from. That's what the walls look like everywhere.
It
You're
made
just
mounting
missing-
the TV a pain. Like anything I put through this wall because you
Oh,
can't
yeah.
find the stud. So I
Oh,
just
it's
sat there and
impossible.
just drill
Yeah.
until I find it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, when I have to do installs on those kind of walls, I end up having to get like wood putty and like then they, kind of find a stain because I'll have to cut through it and then fix it. Anyways, internet's sucking it up. I actually increased my internet speed, doubled it up, and since I've doubled it up, I've had nothing but problems.
I have
So
Spectrum coming tomorrow. Same problem.
your
Right?
ISP,
From the 100 to the
B?
400, I got to get a new line to the house and a new modem.
what did you say, Jolster?
Who's your ISP?
It's Spectrum. It's crap. I mean, it's only 20
Oh.
uploads, so that's the problem. And then the kids are in there playing video games, so they're off school today, so
Wow.
they're back at home. I basically lost all the super chats too, so now I got to go through these one by one,
Oh no.
and because all the super chats are gone, so I'm going to go back to Jordan. So Jordan, is it worth getting the NVIDIA Shield Pro or Apple TV over the native apps? So yes, first of all, then which one might be an answer. What are the pros and cons? Just got a 75-inch X950H, so I'm wondering. So why don't we go kind of around the circle? Jonah, do you have much experience with, those kind of products? Do you enjoy them? What do you think?
Yeah, I had an Apple TV a while back, but now I have NVIDIA Shield TV Pros all over the house, and dude, they're so fast. Like when you're loading up apps and everything, it doesn't, I don't have any loading issues. Netflix, Hulu, everything loads up really quickly for me. As far as like if you're talking audio codec support or anything, it's basically going to be the same if you're streaming everything, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. I will say I use the NVIDIA Shield TV with I have a Plex server, so when I do some of my audio testing, I can stream files from that server, and the NVIDIA does a lot better than like the standard Plex app on the TV. So maybe that's a benefit, but I like the NVIDIA Shield a lot.
Yeah. All right, let's do rapid fire. FOMO, do you like one or the other? NVIDIA Shield or Apple TV? Obviously, you like them better than the native apps.
So I'm in the Apple TV or the Apple ecosystem. It just everything is easier for me because I got movies and I bought years ago, and I do want to play with the whole Apple sound, audio, spatial audio. So the Apple TV is going to support that. And pros and cons of just generally comparing, like let's say, an internal apps. Just a quick example: the Sony A90J. The Disney Plus does not have Dolby Atmos. It just says 5.1. Is that a Sony problem or is that a Google TV problem? We don't know. But on the Apple TV, yeah, it's got Disney Plus with Atmos support. So that's that kind of stuff that I don't like from the internal apps. The support for the audio codecs are inconsistent. So go with Apple TV or NVIDIA Shield. It's just much more well thought out, and it works.
Cool. And we'll probably have to go a little faster than this to get through some of these comments. But what do you got? What do you think, Jolster? Do you use one of those or the other NVIDIA Shield, or what do you think?
Honestly, I usually use the native apps from the TVs, especially from Samsung. I've been using that. But I did notice that lately on the Android 9 OS, I've been having a lot of problems, usually with sound. So I would recommend to go. I usually have used the Fire Stick, 4K Fire Stick from Amazon, and it works really well. But yeah, especially on the on those Android 9 OS, man, for some reason, always audio problems.
Classy, what do you think? What do you got?
On the budget side, the Fire Stick 4K has Dolby Vision, frame rate matching, good voice search. Like that's just what, in my opinion, don't use the internal apps. Get that. If you want a Plex server, get the Shield, the Pro. If you don't want a Plex server, you can get the regular Shield, the tube-looking one. It'd be the same. And then the Apple TV if you're in the Apple ecosystem. And I guess there's a beta update that fixes some of the problems that I was having with it. So I'm going to re-review it in a couple months once that update is official.
Cool. I hope that helps, Jordan. I am on the same boat. I mean, the X950H with the Google, that was Android. I didn't have issues with that. I'm having more issues with the new Android TV. So, you can get it if you need. I think it also helps to have them all the same throughout the house. A lot for your family members. They can get used to one kind of TV instead of having to figure out a bunch of different ones. Addy, Also asked 65-inch. This is a tough one here. You guys have to listen to it because I can't tell it all. So we'll try to just go to maybe FOMO or somebody. But 65-inch TV, $1,400 for the X900H, $1,600 for the X90J, $1,600 X950H, or $2,300 for the QN90A. 10 to 20% gaming, very bright room, lots of HDR content and sports. Basically, kind of how do you rank the LED TVs, more or less, you know? With only 10 to 20% gaming, so that's pretty tough.
The X900H is already too dim. Right when he said bright room, X900H looks better in a darker room. It's just not bright enough, in my opinion. And if you have the QN90A on your list, that's where you would go. It's just so much better than the rest of them. So
yeah, the only thing I would say is the 950H at that much of a price difference.
Yeah, there's another one too.
Could be. Yeah, because the 900H also does not handle the reflections. It's not very bright, and it doesn't handle the reflections either. And it looks kind of like the Samsung frame behind me here when you put a light on it. The Samsung frame behind me doesn't handle reflections that great either, but that's, you know, you don't want your picture frame having a weird anti-reflective coating. So yeah, and if you're not playing a lot of sports, then I think the X950H is also a good option because it doesn't have HDMI 2.1, but it is that $700 less expensive TV. You know, there was a couple TVs that went on sale. Was it the C10 or the C1? Did that go on sale again down to $2,200 now from $2,400? Did you notice that, FOMO?
No,
I went down a couple
I just
$100.
assume it will continue to creep down.
Yeah, I'm sure
I
it
haven't
will.
even checked today. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Absolutely.
And Adi also said, I bought a NVIDIA Shield. Absolutely love it. I appreciate that. And then we went down to Thumper World. Thank you guys all so much for the fantastic work and review and information. What is a good 4K UHD Blu-ray player to pair with the LG C1 or Sony A80J? What do you guys think? I don't have a whole lot of experience with the Blu-ray player, so it might help to have someone answer that.
I'll have two for you. On the El Cheapo side, the Sony X700, 800, $200 to $300. It works fine. You just have to manually go in there and turn on Dolby Vision or turn it off. Otherwise, they convert everything to Dolby Vision, which is a mess. But it looks as good as, on the higher end, is the Panasonic UB820 for around $400. I have the UB820. Great. I also have the X700. Indistinguishable. I was going to do a head-to-head comparison. They look identical, so I didn't bother. The X700 is what I would suggest everyone get if you're on a budget. You just have to manually go in the settings and toggle on and off Dolby Vision depending on your content. Other than that, yeah, they're both great. Those are my selections.
Yeah, give another one for the X700. That's what I have and use. And in my case, it actually kind of helps being able to force Dolby Vision for when calibrating and
there you go,
pattern generators and stuff. So, but does the Panasonic auto switch?
Panasonic does both. So they do the auto, and you can go in there and, the reason people pay a premium for the Panasonic is they have the optimizer that allows you to go in there and adjust the level of the brightness coming out of the Panasonic to match your TV. But today, the TVs do such a good job of tone mapping, I don't think it's relevant. So I don't use it anymore. But yeah, they developed that because in the early days, the TV tone mapping was so terrible, right?
Yeah, I like how the X700 has the dual HDMI outs, so you can have one for audio, one for video.
Yeah, UB820 has that as well. Absolutely.
Could you guys hear me there or no?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Hear you now.
Oh, but you couldn't hear me when I was on the phone, right?
Yeah. You were talking to a Pizza Hut or something? Just kidding.
No, that was our guy, FOMO. There's a couple of A90Js ready.
A couple, huh?
That
sounds like two.
It sounds like they're ready to ship us our 83-inch A90Js. So
all right. Well,
I got to call them back to take payment, and we're going to have
it's time to start unloading our Doge coins. Let's call a shot and see how many.
Maybe how much is that going to cost, the 83-inch A90J?
I mean, I don't know if I'm even supposed to tell people how much they cost.
We'll tell you off the record so we don't get in trouble.
Yeah, it's off the record. Put it this way, it's a discount. So if anyone, I can actually sell TVs. So if anyone needs,
what is the actual
really
retail price on that?
$8,000.
Holy mackerel.
But I think right now, retailers are selling it for $1,000 off because we know it wouldn't stay at $8,000. So conceivably, you can get it somewhere between $7,000 to $6,000, depending on where.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's a good price. So I appreciate. I gotta shut the door here. We live below Montgomery Airport in San Diego. It's like this little small airport. So there's these little planes always taking
I'm
off. It's
familiar
kind
with
of
that.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's always these little planes. I'm always worried because one of them landed on top of a Costco once. It crashed on a Costco. So I'm always worried a little airplane's gonna crash on my house. But
Yeah.
yeah, the dog loves to go out there and bark at him. So, anyways, I want to keep going real quick with these guys. The comments we got. I'll try to get as many of these as we can. Someone had A90J Dan, A90J native apps versus a 2021 4K Apple TV. I love the interface, but it scales content to 4K. Let the processor do that or go for Apple TV. What do you guys think? I don't really. That's a tough
Shield,
one.
You can turn that on or off, but I mean, in my opinion, that's the reason to get the Shield is the AI enhanced upscaling. If you're not going to use it, then don't get it.
Well, he's talking about the Apple TV though. So
Oh, okay.
the Apple TV, I believe the Apple TV, you can turn on the features to let the. Can you not do that? Maybe I'm wrong, FOMO, but the Apple TV you can either match frame rate, match
Right.
the
That's
settings,
I can do.
resolution,
or you can turn it up.
Match resolution though.
I mean, for the most part,
I don't know.
yeah, I have an Apple. Well, I have an Apple TV 4K, and I use it to the upscale the Spectrum app, which is on most TVs looks decent, but it looks amazing on the A90J, A80J. So it looks awesome. I don't see really any downside to getting an Apple TV. Like, I think it looks fantastic. I don't even have anything from the Apple ecosystem besides that. Well, I guess I have Powerbeats headphones, which are now owned by Apple. These are just like old. I've had them for years. But besides that, I love the Apple TV 4K. So I would highly recommend getting that over and I still can't get Netflix to work on my A90J. So I'm going to keep complaining about that until it's fixed. Because every time we try to turn on Netflix, it kicks you out like after 2 minutes of watching something. So then we just have to go to the Apple TV anyways.
Wow.
So
that really sucks.
that's kind of a weird thing.
And that's
quick,
on the A90J, you said?
A90J, yeah, the most expensive TV on the market for most people. Doesn't have for mine. The Netflix doesn't work, and I've tried to restart the computer restart the TV and reset everything, and it hasn't helped. So we'll keep trying.
Try clearing the cache. I heard someone say about if you clear the cache on the TV with the Netflix, supposedly gets fixed.
All right, you're gonna have to help me do it. I'm gonna text you when I'm done with this. You're gonna show me how to do it. I can look it up online too. But Classy's got all these he's got all the AVS forum stuff. So if people don't check out the AVS forum stuff, that's a good place to find information. And yeah, if I would just simply type it in Google, I'm sure I could find the answer. But sometimes I'm too busy for that kind of crap.
Time is money, man. That Classy do his job.
And that brings up a point. Jonah actually makes websites, a lot of them dedicated to like solving tech problems. So he actually has things that are related to like installation, TV installation. I typed in like a couple of questions about like what was up to code in a certain state or something, and Jonah's website pops up and gives you the ansers. It's pretty cool.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
And I'm trying to, speaking of AVS, I'm trying to share my screen if you want to show this real quick. It's a beta update on the LG to show the new 6.1 update for the WebOS.
Sure. What were you going to say, Jonah, there about that site?
I would say the website's thehometheaterdiy.com.
Yeah, hometheaterdiy.com. Yeah, it's got some cool stuff. Cool. Yeah. What is this here you're talking about?
So this guy is in the beta firmware for the C1, and it's changing how some of the stuff looks. Like this is the new game optimizer menu.
And how do you change? You mean LG is going to send this out eventually, or he's just messing with his own software?
It's out. It will be out.
Well, this is the beta update, so you have to be in engineering mode and whatever. So don't probably not everyone do this, but this should be out soon. This is apparently what they're working on.
And this will just be to the left of the screen, though, right? It won't. That's not like the full screen. That's just kind of like to the left, like it currently is, just a different color, a little bit different. Yeah,
and like it adds this, so you can.
That looks a little cooler. Yeah, the frames per second, because before it just kind of had like. It had like I think VRR, or it just said like G-Sync or whatever. It didn't really have all that stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
He did say that like the actual just pure everything about the system was smoother, faster, it's just performing better.
Interesting.
And I think did he also say about the people doing the C1 mod, right? Hacking it up to the G1?
It wasn't him, but it has been discovered one of the recent updates. You can still toggle it, but there's no boost in brightness.
Right. So basically, it does nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I'm
would
gonna-
stop, they would stop that at some point.
That's cool. Thanks for sharing. Oh, you pulled it off. Cool. I got a couple more questions. I got to fire through these. John Carlo had asked X95J, C1, or A80J for our bright living room. Got the the B10 last month for cheap for our dark room. Loves that. So obviously he's tried OLED, but before that, all of them were Samsungs, old Samsungs. So we have a bright living room and we have one LED and two OLEDs. Jolster, what would you do in that instance?
I'm sorry, I didn't miss a question.
Oh, my bad. You know what? I apologize. I didn't. I was looking at the other screen, so I didn't know who was looking at
No,
me.
I'll
Yeah.
jump in.
Go ahead, FOMO.
So, bright living room, 2 OLEDs, and 1 LED.
Oh yeah, no, it's like the TV. Sorry, Jolster. I
Right.
had no idea. I didn't even look at you too. I'm not giving him a pop quiz, Jolster. Jolster, you're not paying attention.
You.
I was looking at other questions.
I'm kidding, dude.
What
It's
was
X-
the LED option?
X95J, C1, or A80J?
Okay, so the X95J rumor is from Brian at Whisper Status that it will be nearly as bright as last year's Z8H, which is insanely bright. It was like over 2,000 nits. So,
Yeah.
if rumor holds true, it's definitely going to be very bright then. So, if you're in a bright room, the X95J will be able to pierce through that brightness and ambient light. But that's got to have to be your use case. That makes sense. I wait for the X95J to come out if you need the larger sizes. Those are coming out sometime in July. And if you need the 65-inch, not until August. So keep that in mind.
Wow.
Cool. Yeah. Let me get back here. So, and coming from Samsungs that are over 5 years old, I had one that was about that, and I loved it. It's very bright, but you know, a lot of these newer TVs look so much nicer now. So I think you like that. I think you'd like any of these 3 TVs. So I think the good news is you have a B10 too, so you know what the OLEDs look like. The C1 and the X90, or I'm sorry, the A80J are both much brighter than that B10 too. So that's going to be nice as well. Miguel Brito had a super chat. I didn't see a question. There it is. Purchased an LG G1. Can't get my Bose SoundTouch 300 to work via the optical. Don't want to do HD because I have a Marantz and want to keep both. Ooh, that's a good question for Jonah. I don't know if you're prepared to answer that. What do you think, Jonah? Someone has a LG G1 and a SoundTouch 300, which has HDMI and optical, but he also has a Marantz receiver, an 8015, like a nice receiver, and he wants to keep both going. So why wouldn't the optical be working on that G1? Can they? I don't think some TVs can do both at the same time, can they?
Or enable it.
Yeah.
I'm looking right now. I have HDMI or optical selectable. I don't see a way to do
You
both.
got to enable it. Yeah.
Well, I don't think you can do either. I don't think you can do both.
I don't think you can do both.
No.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think you can only do one or the other.
Yep.
I know you can sometimes do optical and the TV speakers themselves together. Like you can do optical and that, but normally ARC takes over everything and it just takes over. Sometimes with things like the Sonos ARC, it takes over even when you don't want it to. With my LG TVs, it pulls the ARC and I can't even put it on my Bluetooth headphones. And if I try to put on my Bluetooth headphones, it keeps pulling back the audio. So sometimes those can be a little finicky. But yeah, you're going to have to make a choice there. Now, is there any way that you can run you had that HD Fury. Is there anything you could do with that?
The HD Fury was mostly if the TV didn't have eARC, it was only ARC compatible, then you could basically split out the eARC signal. So I don't think you could I don't really see a good solution here. It's kind of difficult. You don't want to really mix a soundbar and a receiver. It makes things very difficult there. I'm assuming he's not
just a
trying
quick
to use...
FYI. Miguel said he tried enabling optical and it still didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to. I'd have to
pick
be there
one.
to troubleshoot that. It's one of those things where when I'm there troubleshooting it, I can mess around with it and make it happen, but I can't do it over the phone. That's like trying to help my dad with computer stuff over the phone. I just start to lose my mind, you know? So sorry, bud. I don't know if we can help you there. There's another one quick from Adi. Jonah, it says, gosh, these things keep moving. I bought a Samsung soundbar, but it was the HWQ60T. Okay, so that's the kind of a more of a mid or lower level one. And he says it doesn't sound any different from his TV, except the voices are clear. What do you think about that? I find it hard to believe even a cheap one doesn't sound better.
Hard to believe. I don't know. I guess it depends on the TV that he has.
Yeah, because I mean, if you have like the A90J where it's like fantastic, then
Yeah.
But I have a pretty cheap sound bar and it sounds way better than my TVs.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, especially with
That's-
the subwoofer.
The
on
subwoofer,
side,
that
it's
makes
just-
all the
Yes,
difference.
that makes all
you have
the
a like
difference.
kick. No matter
Unless
what
it
kind of
has
TV
like
you
a-
have, you don't have that.
You'd have to have like a C1 or something with
Mhm.
like pretty decent bass, like the like the A90J. I don't know a lot of other TVs that have decent sound. Most TV sound is crap. So I wonder if the sub's even plugged in, or sometimes people don't realize
Yeah.
like the sub
Mhm.
it's not plugged in, and that's most of the sound. Most of the rich noise comes from the subwoofer. Sorry,
Yeah.
No, you just gotta some of the Samsung stuff, like sound bars. There can be issues with the subwoofer and soundbar pairing properly. So you may want
Correct,
to go
yeah.
look behind the subwoofer, make sure the lights, lit up blue. That typically means it's paired. Yeah, I mean, unless you have really good TV space, it's a $400 soundbar. I can't imagine it wouldn't sound any different.
Something's got to be up because those sound bars are pretty good. I have a cheaper one than that, and mine sounds far better than most TVs. All right, quick one. LC Legend, 85-inch X950H, 85. So basically, we got the new OLED. So we have two 85-inch LEDs versus the 77-inch A80J for movies and streaming. Okay, so JC, we don't really know if you're in like a really bright room or like a theater room or kind of mixed usage or living room. But what do you guys think about like Joester? What do you think? I shouldn't have said it again unless I saw Joester looking at me. Sorry, I don't want to. I don't want to put him on the spot. He's not going to come on anymore because I keep picking on him.
Why me?
Joester,
This is
I know
what
that
high
you
school
like.
was like.
I like it. I know you like projectors for bigger TVs.
Yeah.
But what do you think about like an 85-inch LED TV versus 77-inch OLED? Like, how do you think about that?
One thing is that the OLED is going to perform or look better, especially when it comes down to contrast and black levels. So it also depends on how you're going to use it. If it's going to be, in a bright room or in maybe a control lighting room. So I will personally go for the OLED. It's just like the picture wise, and it just feels better, But if you need something brighter, then just go for the LED because usually LEDs are going to be much, much brighter. And also, if you're concerned about the price, go for the ones that you can afford because not everyone can afford a 77-inch OLED. So that's a lot of things that you have to consider. But personally, if I don't care about the price, I will probably go for the OLED.
But yeah, and then these are three different TVs because that was that 85-inch X91J, which we were talking about is last year's like the X900H. Then you got the X950H, which is probably the second best one there, and then the 77-inch A80J is probably the best. But if you had a bright room or you want to get the larger size, some people just want to get the larger size, so just get the larger size, But and if you're not going by like the side profile, sometimes the LED ones stick out a little bit more. They're little fatter TVs, but if that doesn't matter, who cares,
I saw the A80J and the A90J on Best Buy, and honestly, I think I mentioned it on my video. It's like the picture wise, they look very similar.
They do.
They look very similar, but price wise, it was like $1,000 difference, or a little bit over $1,000. So that's a lot of money just for maybe a slightly better performance on the A90J. But in person, I don't see that difference. I don't see that $1,000 price difference.
It's tough. It's like $1,300 difference.
Yeah,
it's like even more than that.
$1,300.
It's crazy.
That's a lot of money.
The heat sink and then the little better speakers, but
And
it's
the
tough.
brighter
Tough to
SDR,
justify.
that you have to have that use case. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a question from Miguel Brito. Oh, wait, did I already do that one? Oh yeah, I already did that one. See, because I can't see any of these comments. We're almost done with the ones I can't see, and then I'll be able to pop them back up. Cyborg says he's having problems. Only has a problem with Panasonic. Only DVB-T2 runner only. I have no idea what that is. Is that some sort of back to the DVD problems? I don't know if you guys know what that is. Talking
I
about the
think
DVD player.
that's a local European thing. I
Yeah,
hear
I don't-
Panasonic. I'm thinking it's got to be a European thing.
Yeah, Cyborg, if you want to send me a message or send us a message offline or elaborate, that might help. Jason Hall, I have a ZT60 Plasma. Will the QN90A be too much of a change? Too bright? Can you get too bright? Or should he just get an OLED,
just
like an A80J?
just turn down the brightness, right?
Yeah. FOMO thinks 2020 model is good enough coming from 2013 TV. C10 question mark. Does everyone agree? Should he just go and save money and get a C10? So FOMO, Jonah, and I all have the C10. Do Classy or Jolster, do you guys have a 2020 OLED, or what would you think about upgrading to the Sony this year versus like the LG C10 of last year, or just getting the QN90A? I mean, he already has a plasma.
Yeah. Well, I do have the C10. I have the 48-inch version.
Oh, yeah.
And
You need one.
I saw the A90J at Best Buy too. And when I saw the A90J and I saw last year's, I think was A90H. Yeah. I did see a difference, brightness difference in comparison from those TVs. So I do believe that the A90J does get brighter, but the C10, I mean, well, I really like it. I really like it. The only difference I do see it is when I made a comparison video with the C10 and the Hisense UAG. I mean, that's a huge difference when it comes down to brightness. You know, it is a big difference, but the UAG, it's rated at like at least 1500 nits compared to the C10, which is like around 600 to 700 nits. So it is a big difference. But I think price wise, once again, I would just go for the LG, because you're saving a lot of money, and the picture quality on all this are just amazing. I think from the C9 up to this date, it's just the picture quality has been very impressive. So you can't go wrong. Plus on the LG, you have all HDMI 2.1 ports. You know, so if you're into gaming, you're gonna get all those features in pretty much all the ports. So you have all those features. You have auto low game latency, 1440p as well. So I think the LG has done a very great job on this OLED TVs.
Yeah, and I have to say, a lot of people ask me, I don't know about you guys, but they ask me if I think that from coming from a plasma that they will enjoy an OLED. And I tell people, I think so, or they're concerned that they need to go to really bright QLED, and then they come back and they're like, oh my God, that OLED is so good. You know, I think people overestimate how good plasma TVs were back in the day. You know, I mean, it's still, you know, we're talking about 8 years later. TVs are a lot better now. I mean, they didn't even have like HDR and all that back then. You know, this is a lot different. TVs look a lot better. What do you think, Classy? What do you think about this?
Actually wasn't the biggest fan of the C10. The near black handling was just not good enough for me.
A lot of black crush.
C1, it didn't do as well as the C1, and even the C1 still has problems with that. And the A80J to me is a step above that class. To me, the A80J's real competitor is the G1, and then LG just doesn't have something for the A90J.
Oh, you know, can I follow up with that real quick, Classy? So is the G1 near black better than the C1?
It's about the same. It's the
Okay.
same.
So they both have the same problem.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and but the overall brightness of the G1 pretty much matches the A80J. Just the A80J can maybe get the highlights not visibly brighter, but measurably brighter. The main difference between the G1 A80J class and the C1 and the C10 is the like full field brightness. Like the C series really cuts that full field down a lot, and that's going to affect your really bright outdoor scenes or anything pretty much in SDR that's colorful. So sports, you know, colorful games, playing anything on the Switch or an older system. So there's, you know, that's where the brightness difference is to me. I think the G1 and the A80J are more matched. And if you're comparing the A80J to C10, to me, that's no contest. If you have the money, go for the A80J.
Cool.
Yeah, it's true. I agree with that too.
I had a comment. I wanted to get it because it was for Jonah, but now I'll just have to read it out. It's fine. All right. You ready, Jonah?
Yeah.
Pop quiz. Here we go. Now it says, Jonah, your review of the JBL Bar 9.1 helped me to make my purchasing decision. Thank you. If JBL ever developed an app or more EQ controls for the Bar 9.1, that would be much better. What do you think about that?
He's absolutely right. Yeah. I'm glad I was able to help someone make a good decision. JBL Bar 9.1, fantastic system. The little docking wireless speakers are really cool.
Ooh, we got look at you, a little cheering. Like we have a little sound effect.
I had to use that special. I've been waiting to use it
Did you bring those strippers, Fomo?
Oh,
every time.
Every time.
we gotta work. We gotta work on our like thing. No, I think you help a lot of people, Jonah. You obviously
Oh,
Jonah's
happy
got
to
a
hear
pretty sizable channel. It's growing fast, and so yeah. So so those rear speakers that can unplug too. Can't they be charged by like a USB charger in the back, and you can just always have
Yes.
them charged?
So if you wanted them to be like permanent speakers, then you could mount them and then just plug a micro USB cable in.
Which is awesome because
which is
you
pretty
know
cool,
like
yeah.
that was probably the only downside of that thing for me is I don't know if I'd want to like go back and plug it in. Like I guarantee for me it would always be out of power when I want to use it, you know.
I think it's really cool for music. So like if you want to play music around the house, then you take both of those, take them into your kitchen with you, and you just have music like right there in front of you. When you're done using it, go dock it, and now it's charging again. I think
That's pretty cool.
that's pretty cool. That's what I liked about it.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Jim. Broady. It looks like Brady or Brody. I can't tell, but you know, we'll go there. Anyways, and a couple more of these questions real quick, and we'll get on with this here. But with this LGC one with the warranty or not, basically they're asking, should they buy a warranty on their first OLED or not? Real quick answers around the room. Jonah, did you buy a warranty with your OLED?
I think so.
Like an extended warranty or no? I can't
don't-
remember.
I don't remember. I don't think I did. No.
Okay. FOMO, you're not a warranty guy, right?
Not unless it's a Vizio. That's the only time I've bought a warranty. I'm serious.
Joelster, would you get warranties on any of the TVs?
You know, if I know that my kids are going to be using that and staying overnight and everything for an OLED, yes, I would. I never buy warranties because, you know, I'm always moving on to different TVs. But I will suggest that if you have, you know, kids or if you know that you're going to leave the TV on all the time, especially for an OLED, I would probably buy an extended warranty for sure.
And Joelster, you got to take off?
Yes, guys,
Okay,
I
man.
got to take off. Have some family matters, but thank you
No
so much
worries.
for the invitation.
Absolutely.
And I'll see
Check
you
out
guys.
Joelster's channel. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you on Monday, bud.
I'll see you guys. Take care.
Later.
All right,
See ya.
later, bro.
Everybody. Look,
All right, so what about you, Classy? Warranty guy or no warranty?
In this case, take the money of the C1 and the warranty and get the G1 instead.
Ooh, upgrade. And the feet. I'd get the feet because you know me and that wall mount. I'm a
Yeah. Or just
wall.
forget that wall mount and get a Sanus or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can. That's a good idea too. And I'll say for me, for the most part, I don't get warranties, but for that A90J that was $4,000, I got a warranty because if that thing crapped out on me, I'd be really pissed off.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
one TV I would definitely say that A80J, the image retention does kind of stand out a lot. So that one I might be concerned about.
And you guys
Sony
keep telling me
has
that the
no-
heat sink. You guys keep telling me that the heat sink on the A90J is good, but it gets so damn hot it like bakes my room. So I'm still a little nervous that TV in 5 years is going to be like melting. It's
or the wall is discolored.
yeah.
Well, just a quick FYI, I might have to bail in about 10 minutes. So
No worries. We can end this. Let me get through a couple of these real quick.
Yeah.
And we'll just end it when we can. No worries. A90J 77 or QN90A 75 or something else for a darker living room. Mostly watch ESPN on DirecTV. No gaming. And should I buy it from Value Electronics or I'm buying it? Should I get the calibration and the quality control? What do you guys think? I mean, I'll jump in real quick. If he said darker living room, I would automatically buy the A90J. They don't have an A90J in a 77-inch. So if he means the A80J or the A90J 83-inch, I would clearly get that. That's expensive, though. You're talking about like twice the price. So I don't know if that's what he means because I think the QN90A 75 is only like $4,000, isn't it? It's something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
But anyways, LED is brighter for, if you're watching ESPN sports like that, the SDR is much brighter on the QN90A DirecTV. So if you're watching mostly DirecTV, the Samsung's probably going to look a lot brighter. I think that the Sony's, especially with the XR processor, are very sharp. They upscale much better and they look really nice. Motion probably similar. And then what about the Value Electronics, the quality control and calibration? Of course, we like to, give business to the Value Electronics. They're very nice people. What do you think about that?
So I buy from Value Electronics because of the QC. Mostly the calibration is great, but the QC on the Samsung is important. Like you saw it, Brandon. LCD TVs outside of Sony have pretty bad uniformity, panel lottery issues, right? Some people are fortunate, they get great first time out. Some people aren't. So the A90J 77-inch, normally right now, I don't hear a lot of issues compared to the LCD. They all have issues at some point, but the QN90A, all sizes, and the larger, the worse. So if you are thinking Samsung, you should have someone open the box and check it out for you. Now, if you it's no problem doing it yourself. You get it from Best Buy, and then you look at it, you don't like it, you have to carry it back. The problem is if Best Buy thinks you're doing this too many times, they're going to put a stop to it, right? So your version of dirty screen effect may not be, you might be less tolerant of it than Best Buy. So something to think about. You get one freebie, but after a couple of times, like, you know what, you're going to keep this, buddy. So I would go the A90J 77-inch, mostly for the larger size and the likelihood that it's quality, because it is a master series. They do a better job of inspecting that TV. My only concern is if you watch mostly ESPN, you have the ticker, right? The moving sports ticker that may pose a burn-in risk, but the good news is with the heatsink, it helps offset that a bit, but I don't feel comfortable with the ESPN score ticker down there the whole time. So I'd go with the QN90A just to play it safe.
Yeah. I'm assuming he means A80J. That's
Yeah, A80J.
So
yeah.
no heat sink, and
heat sink,
a lot of
right.
sports,
Yeah.
I would be really concerned with that image retention.
Yep.
So I would go LED probably,
Mhm.
but I would suggest waiting for the X95J, and you probably
There you
don't
go.
need the calibration or quality control check. And
That's not
There you
bad. That's good. See, look
Good
at that.
call. Good call, Classy.
all
I
bring
didn't even
something
think
to the
about the
table.
X95. And the X95 is coming in July, so you just have to wait a few more weeks.
Mhm.
FOMO, you had this up here. You want to talk about this here?
Before I head out. So a lot of you had OLED questions. I'm going to have John Reformato. He's the calibrator for the electronics, and Robert. They have all the TVs now, and they've calibrated them all. So they'll be able to share with you their insights, before, after calibrations, which one is good out of the box and so forth. So, and he'll give you updates on what TVs are being released in the coming months. And if you have any head-to-head or side-by-side comparisons you'd like them to do, they're there to kind of give you an idea of what you're getting. So it's really good to have these guys there because they have all the TVs, right? They sell them all. So, yeah. Thank you for that, Brandon.
Cool, man. It's probably good. We got to let the birthday boy go, man. He's got to go.
Oh, yeah,
He's got to
yeah,
go.
gotta
Go
go.
eat dinner, man. Happy
Yes,
birthday.
I shall. Thank you all.
Hey, have a good one, man.
See ya. Nice to meet
Oh,
you.
all right.
He turned off the other one, but not
Yep,
your
now-
actual live. All right, there you go. We'll just get through a couple questions real quick if you guys don't mind. Here we go. This is another one. Why don't we just go classy? Here we go. Quality control calibration of the A80J. You kind of just went over some of that stuff, but what would you think about that?
I don't think it's worth it for that one. If I saw Magician was talking about with the LG. LG, yeah, there's some issues out of the box, but the Sony's really good out of the box. So, and they usually are pretty good about the quality control too. So I'd just say probably not worth it on that.
Cool. And Jonah, I'm not trying to skip you, but some of these things
That's
that are, it's all good. I just want to.
I have no idea.
No, don't worry about it. And that's the way I am too. You're like me. You were like, we're not going to step outside of our, comfort zones. I don't like to answer questions. That just makes an ass out of you and me, right? Assume.
That's
I don't
right.
know. Anyway, Super Sticker Addy, what's up? Thank you very much. I know that he's asked a couple questions. Maybe he's just happy that hopefully we're answering some of those questions. Sometimes I wonder if we're helping or not. No, I'm just joking. Here we go. Craw 553 off topic, but can you recommend someone to calibrate my A80J in Oceanside? Do you have a website or number? I actually have a number for you. He's a friend of mine. He's on this chat right here. His name is Ninjician AV. He can hook it up. So why don't you hit me up off on, I think I just pulled that comment off. Go ahead and hit me up on Instagram or something. We can connect him with you. Oceanside, not far away. So yeah, we can make that happen. No worries. I appreciate that. Get you a good priced calibration, and maybe Magician can make a video out of it. All right, cool. And Urfis Grias, I just say it that way because that's how FOMO says it. Any tips to make the C1 brighter in HDR dark scenes? This sounds like a keep it classy question. What do you think, man?
This is what we're saying with
Well-
the LGs. They're really dark out of the box. So I do have a video on how you can raise the RGB values just a little bit to help the curve, bring up those scenes. You can check that out or go on the AVS forum, or it's a text guide. Other than that, you're going to have to calibrate it.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if they even mean like, are they even doing anything like just like making sure they're checking like the peak luminance and having that set to high, and sometimes the advanced contrast and things like that. Sometimes people, when you switch modes, I mean, I think this person has been around enough that they know a lot of these answers because he's been around for a while.
I'm assuming he's using the Cinema Home HDR setting, and if you are and it's still dark, that you got to fix it with calibration pretty much.
Cool. Well, here's a good question, Jason. My wife is trying to find so this is funny. He's telling us that his wife's trying to find a TV for him, and she wants to get it. I think it sounds like he wants to get it by Father's Day is what it sounds like. I'm kidding, of course. He wants to get the 80. You know what? The 83-inch LG C1 is not available yet. I haven't seen it anywhere. Have you guys seen it? Have you seen that, Classy? I don't think it's out yet.
People have it. People have it.
Oh, people have it.
Yep.
So where is it? Where are they selling it? Is it just off of LG's site, or are they?
Best Buy had some.
Best Buy has the 83-inch now.
They did. I think it may be out again. But as far as getting a deal, I've said before about Cleveland Plasma. They're a dealer on AVS Forum. It's nationwide. No tax, no shipping charge, and it's going to be hundreds less than Best Buy. And they have a burn-in covered warranty that's also hundreds less than Best Buy. So go on AVS Forum, message them, or just look up their website and give them a call.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that was. I looked a little bit ago. When it must have been out. It must not have been out a very long time because I thought it was
about a week or so ago. I think.
Gotcha. Yeah. I was on to vacay, and I've been really lazy since I got back. I've been making sure my grass is looking better. I'm not really. You know how it goes. We got other things to do besides just make videos, but we're working on it. Okay. Wanted the option. I'm not really sure. Okay, I forgot the question we were at. Option to either.
I think that was about the Marantz and the Bose Sound Touch 300.
Well, yeah, you should be able to do them at the same. You should be able to have both connected and then switch. Was it was it a LG TV or what was the TV now?
Yeah, it was a G1. That's why I looked at mine because it shows. I mean, is he sure his optical cable's good? Like, is the red light shining through it?
Yeah, check the optical cable. No red light. No bueno. Sometimes if you have. Sometimes that little connection can snap off when you plug it in. And if it's not connected like properly, sometimes it won't play, but you should just be able to connect and then switch between the two and it should work. So that's interesting. Maybe there's an issue. Check the cord and then try checking and making sure that, there are some issues too. Jonah, this too, like when you have like PCM out versus other, sometimes there's issues with apps and things. I don't know if that could be an issue. What do you think?
Unlikely. I mean, most of the times the TV should recognize it. I don't know. The Bose Sound Touch 300, that is kind of an older soundbar. So you may be onto something there, but I think cable's more likely the issue.
Yeah. Sounds good. Mastoff 33, best TV for Xfinity cable. U8G hasn't impressed yet. Well, I would say, this is just from my experience. If you have Xfinity cable, you're like SDR, you're watching a lot of like random upscaling. Maybe he's saying that the upscaling isn't impressing. I don't know how good the upscaling is on that. I would imagine it's not as good as like an OLED, like a Sony OLED or something. But that's going to be a brighter TV for watching SDR stuff like that. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't think any of us have this TV, but Classy, what might you recommend for someone that's unimpressed with a good QLED, pretty decent QLED? What would you recommend in that instance? It's kind of hard to go where to go from there unless you pay more money.
I think one of the main competitors there with the XR processor would be the X90J or the X95J, depending how bright you need or the wide viewing angle.
Yeah. We're talking about, I just don't know what part of it he doesn't enjoy. Mm-hmm. Is it, obviously it couldn't be the brightness, I don't think. So maybe it's just like the upscaling or motion or that kind of stuff. A lot of people, he has a C1 coming. I think the C1 is going to make you happier. Obviously I think it's a better TV. I really enjoy the infinite, contrast is really what is one of the best features for me. The only thing is sometimes you don't get very great highlights. I think that the C1 is better than the C10 for that reason, but for the most part, you don't really notice that. 55-inch X900H was it was $999 last year on the 4th of July, but the X90J is still $1299. Is that a sign Sony won't ever lower the X90J to that price? It believes it's worth more. I think it's kind of early for them to be discounting the X90J already. What do you got? What do you think on that, Classy?
Because last year they brought the 950H first, then the 900H. This year
Yeah.
it was the X90J, then the X95J. I think when the X95J comes out, then it'll get a little bit of a drop, but I don't think we're going to see the same prices as last year because things have gotten more expensive, and it's just the way that
Production costs and all that
more-
kind of stuff,
yeah.
and just lack of, like, there's a lot of demand, like people were talking about in the video from Digital Trends, just production costs, all that. And yeah, I think that's a good point, because I think it'll lower, but it's like, yeah, that they don't really need to, because it's the only like new Sony that's that high end for LED right now. It's the best one that's out. So until the other one comes out,
Yeah, I'm thinking
thanks.
probably $1099 is where it'll bottom.
Yeah, that's the 65-inch we're talking, right? Or is that's
55.
55-inch?
The six.
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing too is last year the 65 was the same price as the 55.
That's right. It was.
So,
Yeah, it was. Oh shoot! Unfortunately, Joester, still no ghosting on your U8G. I love mine. I know that they were talking about it's less than before, but yeah, here we go. Ninjishin AV. I'm no longer recommending LG unless you get it calibrated. I'm finding nothing but OOTB issues with both models, black levels. That's out of my element. Okay, fair enough on that. What do you think about that?
that's
Classy.
just the way LG handles their near black. They want to make them too dark, and then you lose all that.
Is that me or is that
Whereas-
him?
That was him. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Then we
sorry.
lost you for that's okay. We lost you for a split second.
I
You were
was just-
talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, out of the box, the LGs, it's the way they handle it. They prefer, for some reason, to darken the dark grays near black, and then it just crushes all your shadow detail. The only way to fix it is calibration. The Sony doesn't really have that problem. If they kind of over brighten just a touch, but it's not as much of an issue as it is on LG.
Cyborg wanted to help us out with his buddy questions. Panasonic only has different kind of tuner. It won't pick up free air channels like the old NTSC versus PA out. Gotcha. I'll have to take a deeper dive into that. This sounds like something that Jonah would take a video on. Jonah will figure that kind of stuff out, and he'll have this video that'll get 1 million views on the tuners. I could see that being something you could do.
Possibly. I don't know. That's a little bit out of my element too.
No, it's the new tuners are just 4K tuners. They're more channels are coming online nationwide to get 4K content. It's still something that I feel is a little bit out. There's not a ton of stuff, but it's kind of cool to think about. FOMO. I'm the only a warranty guy when it comes to Vizio OLED. Yeah, we know. I know China's not a warranty guy either. I wonder if he wants a warranty on the TV that I'm going to drive to his house, because that could be pretty funny. Do I have to provide a warranty if I actually, per my general liability, I'm not sure if I'm covered driving TVs to people's houses. I'll have to check my policy quick.
Yeah, you might want to check that. That's
Well,
an
I don't
expensive
normally drive TVs to people's houses. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I'm not covered for that. I have to get a separate policy. I got to get going here soon too, but I want to answer a couple more questions. And Jeff here, it's just whatever the name is. I apologize. I'm not good with names here. Sony, I have a Sony Z9F 65-inch Xbox Series X, wanting a 77 or a 75 with HDMI 2.1 features, maybe a C1 or a QNED Mini LED 8K or 4K. Does QNED have all the gaming features? I don't know so much about the QNEDs, but sure, Classy, if you want to jump in on that, maybe look at it. What do you think? Oh. I think we froze. I think he froze. I'm on my own on this one. Oh, there he is. What's up, dude?
All right, they're coming tomorrow. Hopefully, fix it.
That's all good, dude. Don't worry about it. I'm the host, and mine dropped off a couple times already.
Yeah. But so if the QNED is still an IPS, so I don't know if you'd be happy with that. I would still interested. I want to try it, but I would be worried about that.
I saw a QNED at Best Buy. It looks pretty bright. I mean, I don't know, because that IPS type panel is it looks similar to the QN85A, where from straight on it looks really bright, but then you can't really tell because they're always in the bright modes or whatever at the stores.
Yeah, because I mean it pretty much is going to end up competing with the QN85A, just that it'll have the 4 HDMI 2.1 ports and all the gaming features and stuff. So,
but we haven't really seen LG ever really got locked down their dimming zones before yet, have we? I mean, has there really been a LG TV that didn't have blooming and or the dirty screen kind of situation going on? You know?
yeah, no,
Not-
and being their first mini LED, so like I said, it has potential. You know, we'll see what they do with the IPS.
Yeah, cool. Well, there's only a couple more questions. Jonah, if you ever host one of these, it's like you get into the StreamYard and you're
so
looking through the
many.
comments, and when you go up and down, then what happens if you go too far down, you lose all the ones at the top, so then you
Yeah,
can't go
I
back and
saw
click
that.
on them. And I'm like, man, now I can't, but I only got 2 left, so we'll go to real quick. Randy Dean, it's Father's Day and it's my birthday and I'm treating myself. Is this the guy that was already talking about his wife wanting to get him something? I'm not sure. Maybe not. This is a different person. LG C1 or G10. They're close in price right now. What do I get? I know I can't go wrong either way. Well, Randy, if you can comment quick, are you planning on putting this on the wall? Is the G10 looking on the wall? Is that part of the like appeal to that G10? Is that why you said like the G10 versus the C10? I'd like to know about that before I can answer. But Classy, what do you think just in general about these two TVs quality wise? Excuse me.
I would go with the newer one, get the newer features processor. Like I said, the C1 still, while it does have the near black issues, they weren't as bad as last year, in my opinion. But again, if you're a warranty person, just go for the G1.
Yeah, so
Randy
he
said,
said,
wall, by the way.
Yeah, wall. So here's the thing. If I had to buy one of these two TVs, or if I had to think about putting an LG OLED on my wall right now, the G10 is not going to be quite as bright as the C1 or G1 because they're the newer. They have a newer processor. It's got a little better upscaling. It's a little brighter. It's got the newer OLED panel. So there's a few things that are beneficial on the wall. And if that's in your price range, the G10, you could get it. I dislike the mount and turning it dislike the mount. And when you pull it out a little bit, it's very wobbly. Check out my video on installation. But if you're just going to have it flat against the wall and never touch it, then, go for it. You just have to have a little room for a power outlet and all that. But I would say, I think that the LG C1 looks just fine on the wall. So I would probably just say, I don't think that the Gallery series setup in general is really worth it. It's not like the Samsung frame behind me where it's like awesome for art. And I don't think I would even put art on it on an OLED because I'd be concerned it's going to get like retention. So I would just say C1 for the most part. Most people would be better out just getting the newer C1 or get the G1. But if you really, really want the Gallery series, still a G10 is a really good TV and you're going to be happy. So I'd probably say, G1 if you can afford it. C1 is my go-to, and then the G10 if you got to get that cool Gallery series look. So I hope that helps, Randy. And happy birthday, dude. And then here, I don't know, is anyone getting the U7G? I need a 75-inch for the living room with a lot of natural light. The U8G only comes in 65. I thought the U8G came in 75 this year.
The top is 65. I'm going to try to get the U7G as soon as it's available.
Yeah.
Because I figure the U8G is tested enough.
Yeah, definitely. I think I got an email from Hisense about that, but I hadn't responded. I kind of wanted the U8G, but the U7G could be, it's another market too. And I actually recommended last year the H8G to my sister and her boyfriend. They all got that and they love that TV. It's the second one down as well. So, I think it probably will be a pretty good TV. I don't know what will compete against it at 75-inch. Right now, the X950H and the X900H both are available at a really good discount. So check those out for Prime Day. Could be really good options. So I think that's all of the questions. Well, you guys both we passed the test for getting our systems working too. Classy and I have to get our internet dialed in a little before Monday,
Get
right?
some fiber if you can, man.
No, I can't, but I think I'm going to get I think I'm going to grab an Orbi Wi-Fi 6 and just get some bigger nodes in case it's maybe I'm a little too far away. But I want to thank everybody. I saw Chana D, Techno Dad in the comments, and same with Ninjishin. Thanks, guys. Make sure you subscribe to these guys' channels. Jonah has a lot of technology videos, definitely the kind of stuff that helps like kind of make it a little bit more digestible for us, but also has very good soundbar reviews. So check out his soundbar reviews, and he has a really good one that has like all of those soundbar ones that you guys always ask us about. He has a comprehensive one, so definitely check it out. I think down in the comments I have all their different their channels. You know what? I don't think I have Classy's. Give me a second here. I'll get it in there for Keep It Classy. I think it is actually. But I want to thank the guests and Classy. What are you working on, by the way? Did we talk about it? What you're working on? What video you got coming out? Yeah, what do you got? What's the next video coming out for you? Or what's the most recent one you did?
QN90A sitting here about to unbox it.
Nice.
And then the G1, I still got a lot to do for it. The next video is going to be comparing the G1 with the A80J.
That's cool, man. Awesome. Well, I appreciate everyone and the comments and everything out there. And make sure you guys tune in for the Monday stream all day long. And we are going to make sure we try to blast it out to everyone, as many people, see if we can make it go viral on YouTube. We're going to have at least, I think, 10 to 15, maybe even 20 different creators throughout the day, 2 at a time, give or take. So maybe we won't have 5 of us on, but maybe we will. And then at the end, we're going to give away some TVs and some stuff. So we'll all be on around, I think it's 6 or 7 p.m. Pacific. So about an hour from now on Monday, we'll have some craziness. So hope to see everybody there. And thanks again for checking us out. And you guys have a great evening. Adios.
Yeah. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks.